thing. I mean, I know there's a lot of stuff that could be said about all that stuff, but maybe it's already been said.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I don't even understand what's going on with all this. I mean, I do understand that very wealthy people can make their own rules, but
it doesn't even seem like that to me. It seems like someone else just fucked off on it all, you know, and just gave him a sweetheart deal.
Well, the deal was like amazingly ridiculous. So, okay, so back when he was non-prosecuted for child rape, right? He was given a 13-month sentence.
Right.
And so what he was able to do was spend 6 days a week, 16 hours out of prison, and then go back at night to sleep like it was a hotel, and then he'd stay like the whole day on Sunday. So he was never really in jail. Like he just was sentenced to a crappy hotel for a year.
Right.
And the rationale was that because he had to quote unquote work and support his family, but you know the mechanic guy isn't gonna I don't know what he did. I don't know what the mechanic guy did. He stole something, whatever. He stole something from the store, a TV perhaps. He stole an expensive TV, and they're like, "Okay, mechanic dude, you are going to jail for a year," and then he would just be in jail for a year. He wouldn't be able to get out to work.
No,
it's crazy.
That is ridiculous. That is beyond ridiculous. And
in a way, that's more ridiculous than what he's done. Like it's not okay. What Epstein had did was worse than just about anything. In fact, it makes me think like because child molesters and child rapists are so despised in jail and prison, was it so that he wouldn't have to face his fellow inmates because they would kill him? You know what I mean? Like
he was already segregated. Trust me, he was going into special housing unit every night anyway. So,
well, yeah, but in his own cell, he never had to associate with any of the other inmates.
No,
not even the special guys. Like he didn't have to see anybody. So it's so puzzling, and I think the implications are pretty great as this kind of gets further uncovered. I think there will be a price to pay for several people. Ironically, not George W. Bush, who was president when he was prosecuted.
Yeah.
It was like middle of 2008.
Yeah.
And I heard that a few people were like trying to implicate Obama in this, right? But he wasn't president yet. So he didn't have anything to do with this guy. Bush didn't have anything to do with this guy. It was Clinton and all his gang and the Hollywood set, those executives, the British monarchy, right? And Trump and a number of other people, Chris Tucker of all people, just fucking weird. Like,
do you think that? Okay, so every time that Bill was on the plane, there were initials of underage girls. So, are you implying that Bill fucked underage girls? I mean, are you saying?
Oh, I'm not saying it. I'm saying what we need to know. We need to know what happened. Like as a country, as a group of. We need to know like what the fuck was going on there. There's something else just like popped up that was really bizarre. This Miami businessman guy.
Yeah.
He was supposed to organize like a calendar girl party, right? With so we got these 28 women. I guess they were, of age, right? But 28 bikini model types to go to a party, and it turns out it was the women and Epstein and Trump, and that's it. And he's like, "What the fuck? Like, I thought it was supposed to be a party." He's like, "Yeah, just the two of us, Like, so he was disgusted, right? He's like, that's incredible when you get like a pussy wrangler, right? Who to have these girls go to a party, and that's bad enough, right? It's bad enough. But then that dude is disgusted because he realizes, like, oh, it's just for some two old men.
Yeah,
like,
right? Right?
Right? Like, holy shit.
But the only reason that was probably bad to Trump was because he felt like he was being set up, which is the other part of this, which is that apparently there are tapes, right? And there are tapes of celebrities doing things with people. Because that's how... I'm pretty certain that's the deal. I'm pretty certain that he tapes everyone. Or he had cameras in rooms.
Well, they found a bunch of footage, compact discs, like DVD stuff, and that it hasn't really been disclosed what's on those. If it's pictures or video footage of individuals or people doing stuff, like we don't know yet. Yeah, we'll probably find out. But it's just so it's so easy to brush off the idea of these giant, wealthy pedophile rings, right? Because it's just something that no one ever wants to think about. And how could that be? And I don't know anyone like that, and I don't ever want to know people like that. Do they even really exist? But they do exist.
Yeah, but also, just to be clear, this is our first real view at it. We didn't really get a view with the last go round with Epstein, and we've been waiting. We've been waiting for something like this to happen because we've all known. I mean,
it's true. But then you hear other things, like other groups, other people that are kind of debunked, and what it does is
it dampens it. Yeah,
it dampens it. Yeah. So you don't really, and you get, people get numb to the idea.
Yeah.
So,
but also there was, with that whole thing that came out in England about Jimmy Savile, the BBC, Rolf Harris, all of those things, Gary Glitter was also, I mean, I think about this a lot, Marcus. I think about, when I was 13, my dad took me to a taping of Top the Pop.
Okay.
You know the show Top the Pop?
Sure. It's just like the, American Bandstand of England. Right, I get it.
Right. But it's like been a traditional thing that was on BBC every Thursday night, weekly, for decades. So, when I get there, Dad can't come in and watch any of the bands or anything because it's only 13 and 14-year-olds allowed in there for taping.
Oh, wow.
And then I think about who was presenting, and how Rolf Harris presented and Jimmy Savile presented.
Oh, wow.
And, this was just a hotbed for pedophiles.
Interesting.
And for everything bad that was going on. And it was every Thursday this was going down. And, you think about, this is like a big fucking thing, and it never exploded in England when all those stories came out, and that dampened everything too.
Right, right. But then when you think about it, the whole concept of grooming young men and women, teenagers, for stuff like pop stardom or movie stardom, is the same thing.
It is the same thing.
It's not necessarily
exactly the same thing.
It doesn't necessarily get to the point of sexualization, in reality, where the the producer or whatever, the financer guy is going to want to fuck her, right?
Yeah,
but close enough. the titillation idea is always there, and it's broadcast out into the world like, hey, look how sexy the 16-year-old girl is. Like, and so it's weird because no parent would say they would want their child to be exploited like that. But when people come with $1 million checks, people's minds change. Yeah, and it's sad, but that's a reality that money can buy that kind of corruption and does every day.
Absolutely, it does all the time. Yeah.
So
and one of the biggest businesses in America currently is the underage sale of minors, and that's going on. It's big business here.
Oh, sure it is. The other weird thing that happened is that the former prosecutor who prosecuted Epstein, Alex Acosta, who's now the labor secretary of the current administration, he just had a press conference indicating that he wants to cut the child trafficking prevention budget, these grants that go to other countries to help prevent children from being trafficked to the United States. He wants to cut that. Yeah. So and he's saying that at the same time this is all going on. It's just so weird that it's so out in the open. And that seems to be the tactic in a way. Just don't hide anything. Just say it. And don't take any responsibility. Don't make any apologies for your former actions. Just be that blatant, and people will be so stunned that they won't know how to react.
Right.
Wow.
Yikes.
That's cheerful.
Yeah.
It's important.
It's probably, in my humble opinion, it's probably the most important thing. Because there's a bunch of guys who have been playing really big ball for a long time, and they've also been doing some heinous shit. And we don't know about it, but we have suspicion. And we have suspicions about, major people. We don't know the full extent of this. Yeah. And it's probably so deep, it's ridiculous. It
almost makes the stuff we do with troubled teens in the troubled teen industry pale in comparison. It almost gives me hope that we actually can make inroads on the, I don't even know if we call it a lesser form of abuse.
Right.
With institutional facilities that rip parents or kids away from their parents with their parents' consent. But generally speaking, they're not getting fucked in the back room and it's just whoa, if we can't.
I mean, that is happening. That is happening, though.
It's happening.
It is child trafficking, and it is torture. But I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. There's a whole dark shadow industry going on that we can't see with these kids. I get that.
Right.
I get what you're saying.
Right. It's like okay, this is more obvious. The wilderness camp, it's there. People know what's going on.
And I mean, society.
It's not a whole lot people can
could actually do. Society could actually choose to fix this, whereas this other thing is just a fucking societal nightmare. Because clearly there's a bunch of guys who have fetishes that are just absolutely unacceptable. You know?
Right.
And I don't know how that can be fixed. And I don't know how many people have taken part in that, Yeah,
well, I guess hopefully it just sounds bizarre to even say, but hopefully we're going to find out.
Yeah.
And that will help because people will be more aware. If only that. People are now aware that like who specifically the monsters are. I mean, there'll be others who pop up, of course, but let's clear out this current crop at least.
Yeah.
So that we can sleep better at night knowing that, you know, your 15-year-old daughter isn't going to be approached by a nice lady who is going to bring you to a giant mansion and impress you and give you money, and then suddenly you're giving naked massages to some 60-year-old dude and then blowing him. Like, can we not do that? Like, can we not have that happen, please?
Can we just stop that, please? Because that's really fucking unacceptable.
It's not okay. But what is okay, you know what's okay?
Yeah, what's that?
I'll tell you what's okay. That this has been the 45th episode of the V2V podcast with Shorts and a Railing.
Hell yeah.
That's okay.
That's pretty okay.
Yeah, and you know, I like to say I tie in with, you know, 45, and we're kind of talking about Trumpian things, and he's the 45th president, so there is like that weird tie-in there, which is cool. I like to have that.
always brings me back to Jim Carrey or something, or like John Cusack and his elevator thing.
All right. Well, that was interesting.
All right.
Jesus. You never know what you're going to get with this stuff.
No.
Oh my God. No. So subscribe and like. Oh, that's right. We were going to like ask people to do a particular thing. So what we want people to do is downvote the video.
Yeah.
Subscribe, and then hit the notification bell. But make sure that you downvote it instead of thumbs up. So let's see how many.
If you got this far, we're going to figure out if you got this far, because we want you to downvote, and that's how we'll know.
Yeah, because we don't get a lot of downvotes. Like we get a fair amount of upvotes.
Yeah.
So if you've gotten this far and you liked what you heard, or didn't like what you heard, just give us a thumbs down, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can continue to receive all of our content. And also, you should give us money on Patreon, too.
You should give us all your money on Patreon.
Yeah,
really.
Do you like $100 a month?
Yeah.
You can afford it.
Yeah. No problem.
Maybe Jeffrey Epstein should donate to our Patreon. I think that would be like a good kind of like, I don't know, like a act of goodwill.
I don't know. I feel like all of his money belongs to some other people, and they're probably quite young.
Cool. Oh, well.
But yeah.
All right. You're right. Well, some of it is his own money legitimately, so he should give a lot of that money to us anyway, because he owes society, and we're part of society, so he should start paying back society through the podcast. I think that's cool. Yeah, because we'll do better things with that money than he would.
We certainly would.
All right, that sounds like a great idea. So Jeffrey Epstein, give us your money.
Yes.
All right. Until next time.
Bye.